What's up, guys? This is Ray and welcome to Asian Films, and I have a review of another anime adaptation for you guys today, and that movie is Guyver, Dark Hero. Guyver, Dark Hero is a 1994 movie, and it's a direct sequel to the first Guyver movie, which I reviewed a few weeks earlier on this channel. If you haven't seen that review yet, definitely check it out. But this is a direct sequel, and it's directed by Steve Wang, who's one of the original directors from the first movie. It's an adaptation of the manga written by Takaya Yoshiki, and this time it doesn't star Jack Armstrong as the titular character. It stars David Hayter, whom we all know and love as Solid Snake. The story of Guyver, Dark Hero happens after the first movie. I forget exactly how many years after the events of the first movie Dark Hero happens, but Sean is still going on as the Guyver. The Guyver is this alien piece of bio armor that enhances his regular physical abilities to become superhuman, super fast. He's super strong. He has cool weapons like elbow swords and lasers that shoot out of his head and also out of his chest. You know, that's just summing things up very quickly. But he's still fighting crime. He's not fighting any more zoonoids, which are these giant monsters that humans transform into. As far as he knows, at the end of the events of the first movie, he's gotten rid of all the zoonoids. He's gotten rid of the Kronos Corporation, which is the mysterious bad guy group that is trying to take over the world as an evil group would. But after a lot of killing, he breaks up with his girlfriend from the first movie, and as he's watching TV, he sees a TV report from that broadcasts footage from this archaeological dig that kind of matches some visions he's had in a dream. So he goes on this road trip. He finds an archaeological site in hopes that he can find answers to some of the questions that he had regarding the Guyver, regarding the zoonoids, and most importantly regarding the creators of the world, which happen to be aliens. So as far as the positives are concerned about Guyver, Dark Hero, it is a vast improvement over the original in every single aspect. I mean, for one, first of all, you don't have any misleading marketing. You're not lying to the audience and saying one actor is portraying the Guyver when he really shouldn't be. I mean, I'm talking about Mark Hamill in the first Guyver movie. But this movie improved on pretty much every aspect, from the tokusatsu special effects. The suits look so much better in this, and even the action is much more high flying, much more reminiscent of what we would associate with Power Rangers. It's just not guys dressed up in rubber suits just punching each other. It actually feels like a legit tokusatsu superhero story. And as far as what I can recall, the story that's presented in Dark Hero is kind of an original plot. But it uses a lot of elements from the source material. Some characters it pulls from the source material, and I think the way it remixes everything to make this original story, I thought it did a pretty good job. And going back to the action, it's not only noticeably better, it's also noticeably different. There are a lot more stunts. There is a lot more wire action, a lot more kung fu inspired choreography, and it's also very violent, which I absolutely love because the original manga was violent and dark as all hell. And you know, the title doesn't lie. It's the title, Dark Hero. This movie is pretty damn violent, especially if you've back in the 90s, when the idea of tokusatsu superheroes to the mainstream fan was that of Power Rangers. You know, to see something like Guyver, Dark Hero, it might have been surprising. I mean, you had the Guyver slicing body parts off, you had blood, you had gore, and you had death. And something that I like about this movie over the first movie is that this movie didn't try to dive into any kind of comedic elements. Like the first movie, it would hop between violence and comedy back and forth and became very schizophrenic. This movie was consistent from beginning to end. I also like the set design, the location where the story takes place in. I mean, it takes place inside of a cave, outside of a spaceship, and I think it was very well put together. But above all that, I think replacing Jack Armstrong, the actor who played Sean or the Guyver in the original movie, with David Hayter was probably the best choice. I mean, I love David Hayter, especially like his work in Metal Gear Solid as Solid Snake, and it was pleasing to see David Hayter as a superhero here. As far as the negatives are concerned, yeah, there are some. I thought the acting was subpar. It was okay, subpar, but it still leaps and bounds better than the first movie. But I think the biggest problem this movie has, and not just this movie, but I feel like many English language productions of tokusatsu is the voice acting when it comes to actors portraying speaking their lines while a stunt actor is in the suit doing the action for them. I feel like they're like, ever since the first Power Rangers, a lot of people can't go away from that kind of speaking style. I mean, if you know what I mean, it's like, let's go, yeah, that's right. You know, it's just corny. It's just cheesy as all hell, and it makes the genre of tokusatsu, at least on the American side, very, very corny. And that being said, this movie is guilty of that too. I really wish any productions of tokusatsu works in the West can just speak naturally, but then again, I think just the way they speak in tokusatsu works in Japanese, we wouldn't usually speak like that in English, so already the setting is kind of unnatural. But I wish they would just stray away from speaking like that. The movie was that kind of problem was predominant within American tokusatsu productions of the 90s, and I think it's still prevalent somewhat in today's set of work. And lastly, you know, this as much as I love the way everything looks like in this movie, as far as the sets and the costumes and all, you know, it definitely feels like it's straight to video, and that's because it is. This movie wasn't originally given a theatrical release. It was originally released as straight to video, and you can definitely see that quality in this movie. But you know, all that being said, overall, what did I think of Guyver Dark Hero? You know, flaws aside, it's my jam. I love it, especially because I love the original manga and anime, and while I feel that this movie doesn't perfectly adapt the source material, you know, given its resources and given that, you know, given the kind of movie that it's trying to make, like, you know, tokusatsu, I still feel like they did a great job in creating something that was entertaining and also do the original work enough justice. Granted, it's nowhere near as dark or violent or brooding as the original work, but I still think it did a commendable job. And that's all despite it being a straight-to-video release. I mean, you can see the love for the original work is there, the creativity is there, the right minds and the right skills were mixed together to create this movie, and I just wish it had a bigger budget. Do I recommend Guyver Dark Hero? I certainly do, especially if you're a fan of superhero movies, dark and broody superhero movies, and Japanese superhero works. I mean, tokusatsu superheroes. I think this movie does a great job in blending all those genres together. And yeah, those are my thoughts on Guyver Dark Hero. What did you guys think, or what kind of questions did you guys have? Let me know in the comment section below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. And by all means, please support Asian Films through Patreon. It really helps the channel a lot. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you all again in the next video. Take it easy.